But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within.
You are on this very planet that Chukwokika Biama created to his glory. We welcome you to another explosive exposition of the very fraudulent contraption, the very diseased abomination that the British created for the enslavement of the children of light. We have come to destroy. We have come to render asunder. We have come to decimate that very tower of darkness, that very zoological republic, that very cesspit of iniquity and of evil. We have come that the blind may see. We have come that the deaf may hear. We have come that even those who through no fault of theirs, but as a result of having subjected themselves to a very disastrous educational system in the zoo, they have become stupid. Here we have come to enlighten and to educate without any apologies to anybody, without mincing words, without fear before our enemies, determined and resolute, indestructible, and the precipitous collapse of the zoo is inevitable. Absolutely inevitable. The devil may try all it can. Those who go before them to peddle falsehood, those who go to work for them, those who are the workers of darkness and of iniquity, we can assure them that we are resolute, we are determined, and there is nothing anybody can do to stop this very invade as many times as you like, kill as many people as you like, propagate falsehood after falsehood as many times as you like, buy up every media space in the zoo, go and connive with people in the diplomatic circles abroad, eyebrow consultancy firm in the world, select some diplomats in the zoo and bribe them. Select those you send to the key countries around the world. None of these things you're doing is capable of stopping us. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you write. It doesn't matter the type of chatter you have behind our backs. All those things you're doing is a complete and utter waste of time, because Biafra must come. There is nothing anybody can do about it. That is why we preach this gospel. That is why we propagate this very message of redemption. That is why Elohim said that Biafra will come. You will not fire a bullet, but Biafra will come. Because Chukwokika has gone before us. And you will hear what will happen to the zoo in weeks and months to come. This is 1 year, 2020. They will never, ever, ever in their lives forget. It does not matter what the enemy does, is irrelevant. Buy over Twitter, buy over Facebook, bribe the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, bribe the US Ambassador to Nigeria, Department in America.
But there is one thing I want all of us to understand this very evening. We are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you, that they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB, belongs to the Most High. And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near. The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. Some of you, they will buy some of you over. The spirit of Oba Biasika and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we are doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwukika Abiyama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Ora-Eri, the same God of Owe-Eri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not to be known by the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who we are chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what these neo-colonialists do not want. They don't want Biafra to come. I am telling our people so they understand. The mountains, I didn't say one mountain, the mountains in front of us that we need to overcome. And for us to overcome it, we need to be very strong mentally, mental strength. Just like when you're doing anything in life, and it appears as if you are being buffeted from everywhere. That is the time that you no longer rely on willpower or your muscles. You go to your brain to endure and to persevere and to keep going until you overcome. That is the stage we are in right now. To make sure that our brain is in gear to confront everything the Janjaweed has to throw at us. We don't have money. Their budget is over $20 billion to fight us. They can bribe Facebook. They can buy them off. They can do anything they like. They can come to some of you and bribe you off. They can promise you what you've never had before. They can give you maybe a house in Dubai. They can promise you a vehicle. They can tell you, oh, we'll make you vice president. They can promise you anything to make sure that you're like them. But this very IPOB, this very hardcore is not going to move. And I will tell you why we can't move.
We have tried to live in Nigeria designed by Great Britain and handed to us. We have found it difficult to live in that Nigeria. We have fought a civil war, killed so many people, and still we have the same problems reoccurring. Perhaps the time has come to revisit the very foundations of Nigeria.
Nigeria is an evil entity, very, very satanic. You want to change the narrative. It's IPOB, they're the aggressors. I saw some women, was it yesterday? Give them their Biafra. We don't want to die. Look at murderers calling other people murderers. Can you believe such nonsense? The Fulani leaders, you cannot win. You cannot defeat IPOB. You people were the ones that established many terror organizations in Nigeria in a bid to overwhelm the country and take over the territories for your Fulani people. IPOB became a stumbling block to that very janjaweed expansionist tendency. True or false? Am I lying? You were ruling Nigeria before, doing everything you like, controlling NMPC, controlling the seaport, customs, everywhere you ever. Now, finally, because you felt that you subdued everybody else, now you can now march on with your foot soldiers into the east because you've taken over Yoruba land. Of course, I know that very well. You came and we said, no, you can't come into this land to take it. Come and do your business and go. You said no. Now, because we defeated Mietiala, you now brought in police and army with official uniform, official badge to come and kill people. And I also want to remind Twitter, because they're listening. Twitter, please. Do you know that in the Nigerian army and police, there are terrorists there? Are you aware that Nigeria actively recruited terrorists, killers and murderers and rapists, and gave them army and police uniforms? Are you aware of that? How can anybody, Yoruba journalists, how can you people in your infantile stupidity refer to Nigeria as having an army or Nigeria police? Or where are those terrorists that they conscripted into the Nigerian army and Nigerian police? Where are they? People without shame, where are they? I'm asking you. Fulani, you want to change the narrative? Of course not. They want to put the blame of insecurity in Nigeria on IPOB. Can you believe that? Can you believe these people? Can you believe them? Can you believe these people? And luckily, as God will have it, they are slaughtering themselves in the north. But IPOB securing the east are the ones to be blamed for the insecurity in the east. There is a clip I want everybody to play, please. Who opposed them opened his mouth and said, I invited the army to come into Olo. There was nothing happening. Fulani, who opposed them gave Fulani land in Olo to do Ruga, Fulani settlement. And we said no. We drove the Fulani murderers and terrorists away. Who opposed them now invited his friends, his masters from the north, to bring in their army and heavy machinery into Olu to kill us. That was how all these things started. All of you, you have forgotten. Black people in this UG, black, you have all forgotten the Genesis. The same way that all of you that are blaming Boko Haram is a terrorist group, Boko Haram, what they're doing. But when Nigerian police were busy killing their leader and killing everybody else, all of you were just there drinking Fradununu. or doing betting on Chelsea versus Man U, or Liverpool versus Man City. Nigeria army and police will go out and commit atrocity upon atrocity. All of you will be there, you keep quiet. Any day, those people out of anger rise up and retaliate. All of you baboons and monkeys will start writing rubbish. Do you know why? Because you have no conscience, you have no soul, you're a black person, you are the embodiment of evil. Is the truth. I don't care who bans whoever or whatever, I don't give a toss. I must preach the truth. Black people are wicked. By nature, very wicked people. That is why you forget the atrocities that your police and your army always commit. You forget. In a twinkle of an eye, you forget. Our army, our police. Now listen to me very carefully, please. You are blaming ESN, whereas it is the same Fulani terrorists masquerading as headsmen that are responsible for orchestrating all the insecurity in and around Nigeria. Fulani, you have Boko Haram. Fulani, talking about insecurity in the east. Hey. Whereas 91 people were slaughtered yesterday. Yesterday, they were killed yesterday. You have the guts. You people have no shame. You have the guts to stand up and be talking about insecurity in the east. And you're a senator from Kebbi State or Kebbi, whatever they call it. And 91 of your constituents were slaughtered. You didn't see it. You are talking about east. Fulani, who formed Boko Haram. Fulani, who formed ISIS in West Africa province, ISWAP. Fulani, who formed Miyetti Allah. Fulani, who formed Ansar. Fulani, who formed these headsmen and bandits you claim are foreign. Fulani, who brought out murderers and killers and terrorists from prison and gave them military and police uniforms. It is you people. You have now spread them around the country, causing mayhem, abducting people from schools. These are the same play. Hi, these people that. Ha, Fulani, you think everybody's as stupid as you are? You go, you kidnap students from their schools in the north, you get ransom, you buy more arms, you embolden yourselves. You have the guts to conduct a live press conference talking about insecurity in the east. Don't people have shame? Anyway, you don't. Who are the bandits, or should I say terrorists, taking hostages of school children and demanding ransom? Are they not Miyetti Allah, Miyetti, the chief negotiator? Who are the people destroying farms, raping and killing their victims daily around Nigeria? Fulani. Fulani. You know what? How they manage to convince some of you is what I find astonishing, despite the overwhelming evidence. How they.
The foundation for the liberation and independence of Biafra has been laid by this government, and it is very, very strong. We build this particular foundation of the liberation on solid rock. Are you not seeing it? We are not shaking. I am standing very, very strong, making sure that I'm taking the bullet that they are firing at Biafra people, because their target is you. They believe that once they take Mazen Amdekan out of the way, they will come for all of you. That is exactly what is happening in other parts of Nigeria, because nobody is there to stand on the way for them. And they are annihilating people, killing them, sending them to IDP camp. I told them, you see this face, okay, deceive very well. To deceive you. The momentum of the Biafra liberation today have necessitated all the discussion you see. Everybody is talking. Release Mazen Amdekan. Why are they keeping him? Some of them claim that he was not fighting the way I'm fighting, but you kidnap him. Some of them are now addressing him as a gentleman. But you went and kidnapped a gentleman. They say, oh, he's more reasonable. He's not. But you kidnapped him. What were you thinking? All of them contributed money. When Mazen Amdekan was speaking, it was their headache. They couldn't sleep every day. Oh, Mazen Amdekan, he's destroying Alibo. Oh, Mazen Amdekan, he's doing this, he's doing that. Today, Mazen Amdekan is no longer destroying Alibo. Mazen Amdekan is no longer causing problem. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer is the good man. He is the only man now that is very reasonable. And I have not even started. Because you see Woto, Agaku Nigeria Igwe. Agaku Nigeria Igwe. And you know the next level is by taking all their terrorist barracks, taking all the government houses. That is the next level we will go, because it is part of the defense of our land. These places are places where the attack against our people are being planned.
Well, what you must know is that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage on behalf of the famed unity of Nigeria. That's what it's all about. It's as simple as that. If you mention his name in certain circles, they don't want to hear it because they feel like he threatens the real estate called Nigeria. And his Igbo makes it worse because Nigeria's DNA hates the Igbo for attempting, in the 60s and, towards the end of the 70s, to leave a country they said is no longer favorable to their existence. But I keep saying, and I will repeat here again, is there any Nigerian out there in their majority who has not mentally seceded from Nigeria? Not many. That's why people are leaving in droves. Each time you get on a plane leaving this country is full, each time it's coming back, probably full too, but it is those who are coming back to pack their things that are coming back. That's the way I describe it. But the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu has been held hostage. He was abducted from Kenya, extraordinary rendition. The fact that he's kidnapped from Kenya could not be explained shows that any judicial pronouncement or processes after that is null and void. You cannot go and kidnap somebody and bring them before a court. And the courts have made it very clear, even up to the Supreme Court, that he did not jump bail. It was the military that went to his house to kill people, and then he escaped. And now you have brought him back. You ought to respect and restore his bail. That's what I told his lawyers. Why are you applying for bail again? Because the Supreme Court made all the pronouncements except releasing him. And I think it was because they were afraid. And that's why I say he's a hostage to this country. And like you rightly said, there are other people who have made even more egregious pronouncements and fought and carried arms in this country. And you have not treated them the same way because they're not Nnamdi Kanu's, their name don't sound East. And I'm not here to fetish being able. But the reality is that they are not treated fairly. And Nnamdi Kanu is part of the reason why that is clear to everybody.
Right.
And by the way, I must also reveal here that there are some Igbo elites who are behind this. Whenever there's a crime of conspiracy against freedom fighters, there are people inside and outside who are working together.
Land of the rising
na-ekele ya onye si na agata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị ife arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị iwe were iwe gị na ọnụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunie ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị niile n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọkwa onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọbụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra ebe ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi wee hụ ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye obi na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe tịtụ ozu ọ bụ ọkọwa mgbe emilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe wee memire Fero sikwa otu a mee ka Fero bụ ọgụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị IPOB ka o wee taa akọpụ iguni ọtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụgụ nwa bụ ekekere eluigwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị nweghị mmalite nweghị ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị bụ anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama marakwa na okwu gị na-anọgide gị ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe mee ka ebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Ise. Good evening, dear friends. Welcome, dear friends. Welcome, lovers of freedom. I welcome you all this evening to our weekly program on this platform, IPOB, Western Cape Media TV. I welcome you, Umuchukwu Okike Abiyama Premihanine. And I welcome you all in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama. As I welcome you warmly this evening from my location, I want you to welcome others. I want you to welcome your friends, your family, welcome your neighbors, welcome all lovers of freedom, both those at home and away. I want you to share this program this evening. You need to share the program. The reason we must share this program so that other people may know that we are alive at this moment. Like the program. One of the reasons to like the program so that our Facebook could send out locations so that what is his name? Other platforms may also send out notifications, so to say. So I welcome you, Umuchukwu Okike Abiyama. I thank you for being part of this program this evening once again. You must share the program in your WhatsApp group. Share it on your WhatsApp group.
your village worship group, your every groups where you belong. Share the program. And also, I want you to know we are live this evening in all our social media platforms. We are live on our Facebook page, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. We are live on our YouTube page, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. We are also live on our X, formerly Twitter, IPOB Western Cape Media TV. I want you to go to one of these platforms where it will be suitable, comfortable for you to view us this evening. I know that Trump has just been sworn in, and a lot of attention on that side of part of the world at this point. So anybody you see here are those who are ardent followers of this platform. America has just restored their country back from the hands of the deep states, from the hands of the mafias. Through the inauguration of Trump, America has just won victory over her enemies. And I want you to know that that is America for you, but Biafra is still yet to be liberated. That is why you must support what we are doing. That is why you must be here. That is why, if indeed you are a serious freedom fighter, nothing must come above the need for Biafra restoration. It must be paramount to you. There is nothing on earth that can stand on your way to Biafra. That is why you damn this to grace this occasion in America to be here. So I welcome you. I welcome you, and I thank you so much for your support. I thank you for your prayers. I thank you for believing in us. Bless you, comfort you, defend you, and then supply you all your needs according to his riches in glory. Fellow dear friends, I am so happy to be here. That is the truth. And I know you are also very happy to be here. You are excited. I am also excited. This is our family. This is our own. It is always a pleasure to be with you. It's always a pleasure to be identified with you as Biafra. I love you so much. And the way you love Biafra amazes me. So I thank you for loving Biafra so much. For all your time, all your sweat, everything you have invested for the sake of Biafra, Chukwokika will not let it to fall on the ground, on the floor. So I thank you and I welcome you. As I welcome you, I want you to welcome others. Like I already said, and if you are just joining us, share the program. This is IPOB Western Cape Media TV. Here, we speak nothing but the truth. We are not here, we are fearless before our enemies. We are fearless before our enemies. We are without fear nor favor. We are not here to represent any individual, but to represent and to defend our fatherland, Biafra. Because for us, it is Biafra today, tomorrow, and forever. If you are offended by our result, we have no apologies for that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, worldwide, and his position is incontestable. IPOB is here to restore Biafra, and we are not going to be swayed until Biafra is completely restored. Welcome you to IPOB Western Cape Media TV, saying it the way it is. We say it the way it is. The reason we do that is because truth is always our hallmark. It is because we are fearless. We are not afraid to say the truth, irrespective of who is offended, irrespective of the feelings, the pain, the agony you are passing through because we speak the truth. It is not our business. It is our duty to tell the truth and truth at all times. So if this is your first time, you are in the right place. If you are part of this family already, you know what we are capable, you know what the stock we are made of. So I thank you for being here. You know we are not here for propaganda, we are not here for saga, we are not here for name callings, character assassinations, defamation of character, whatever. Whatever we said is verifiable always. You can go and verify every information that is coming from this platform. Go and verify it. It is verifiable. We do not say what we are not sure. That is what makes us different. That is why we stand out. That is why more people continue identifying with us, because we are original. We are not here to chase clouds. That is why you don't see us saying things just to attract viewers. No. If you understand why you are in this struggle in the first place, if you actually know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said what makes us who we are is because we are Umuchukwogike. That meaning that we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. We are spotless. We are spotless. We are spotless. We cannot do anything to contradict our belief. We cannot do anything to destroy the foundation of the struggle which we are fighting. One of the things that makes us stand out as a people, as a zone, is because we believe in Biafra Code of Conduct, and we believe that it is no-go area. It is a standard for us. IPOB Code of Conduct can never be changed by no other person but except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is anything to be changed in our Code of Conduct, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one to do that. No other person has the authority to alter IPOB Code of Conduct. So if you are part of those who are trying to bring some changes in order to drive home your agenda, I am telling you this evening that you are a failure. It will never fly. IPOB Code of Conduct remains the yardstick, the roadmap, the light in the darkness, and there is no other person that needs to do anything in that IPOB Code of Conduct if need be, except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. We do not have two leaders, we have but one leader. Any other individual parading himself as leadership or themselves as the leadership of this struggle, they are all but jokers. Except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we all are principal officers. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the satisfied leader. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only authentic, the original leader of this movement. Every other person who works with him or under him is addressed as a principal officer. So those who arrogate leadership to themselves and then using it as an opportunity to alter the IPOB code of conduct, I am telling you this evening, you are a failure. It can never fly. IPOB code of conduct does not need changes. IPOB code of conduct remains the original. Whatever you do that is not in IPOB code of conduct amounts to insubordination and sabotage. You must know that. Before I continue, fellow Biafrans, I bring greetings to you from my coordinator, Mazi Innocentialia. Mazi Innocentialia is the Western Cape IPOB representative. In other words, Mazi Innocentialia is the provincial coordinator of IPOB Western Cape Zone. Mazi Innocentialia has always been here from the beginning, and he is still standing strongly, determined, resolute. Mazi Innocentialia is the one representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in this part of the world. He has given a lot, he has given too much for this struggle. He has sacrificed everything sacrificable for this struggle. He put everything on the line for this struggle. He put his family's security, welfare, privacy online. He put his life on the line. He put in his money, his wealth. He put in his time and everything for this struggle. And he continues standing on the path of restoration of Biafra. Mazi Innocentialia is leading IPOB Western Cape, and he is doing everything to make sure that this zone remains afloat until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released and rejoins us. We do not have any other leader in this part of the world, no other provincial coordinator. I always make it as a point of duty to remind you about those who parade themselves about the fake ones, because you must know that whatever that has original, bound to have fake. In IPOB Western Cape, a fake provincial coordinator was created by no other body but but DOS stroke IPOB Nigeria. And that provincial coordinator created is never loyal to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's never loyal to Biafrans. He is loyal to Mazi, to Chike Doziem, Chinas and Torin Zurumike. This is their coordinator. He is not representing IPOB Western Cape. He does not represent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He does not represent IPOB as a family. So I want you to know that, so that whenever you come across such individual, or whenever they come to you, try to convince you, ask them, who are you loyal to? And if he says he's loyal to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then refer him to IPOB Code of Conduct. So these men they are not real, they are not original, they are fake, they are criminals
fraudsters, they are scammers. They go about scamming people their money in the name of IPOB. They are not part of this family, I must tell you. So, no. The only person that is working or that is rightfully appointed by Onyendu himself still remains Mas Innocent earlier. I want you to know it. He is the provincial coordinator representing IPOB Western Cape. No other person anywhere. Bear it in mind so you don't say you were not told. So he is greeting you this evening. He sent greetings to you this evening, and I just delivered it to you. And I bring greetings to you from the coordinator, from the executive of this noble family, IPOB Western Cape Zone. I want you to know that they have never disappointed, always working day and night, doing everything necessary to make sure that Biafra remains afloat. Make sure that this zone does not die like so many other zones in IPOB today. This man, IPOB Western Cape executive, are working out how to restore Biafra in truth and in spirit. I want you to respect them. And also, I bring greetings to you from all the family of IPOB Western Cape Zone and all IPOB around the world and all lovers of freedom. Greetings from them to you this evening. I want you to relax while we bring to you what we have in store for you this great evening. I am Mazi Onyebuchi. I am your host. By the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abema Premi Henine, I am the Parklands Unit Coordinator. I'm a believer, a determined Biafran. I believe that there is no honor, respect, dignity left for me outside Biafra. I am those who believe that the only thing we have as a people is Biafra. And without it being restored, our lives have just been wasted for nothing. I say to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, depending where you are watching this program this evening. I'm going to go straight to the business of today. And if you have not shared the program, I want you to do that immediately. If you have not liked this program, I want you to do that immediately. It is very important that you do that which you can do. It is my duty to bring you this program. It is part of your duties to share the program, like the program, comment on the program if needed. So I thank you for being part of this program this evening. As you know, Biafrans, we are in a perilous time. As long as the restoration of Biafra is concerned, we are in a time of trouble, time of distress. And since our leaders kidnapped and extraordinary renditioned back to Nigeria and illegally being kept in DSS dungeon for the past 4 years, it has brought a lot of things to us, to many people. To some, it is a slap on the face of the Biafrans. It is a slap on the face of Ndibo as a people. It is a slap on the face of IPOB. And it is a slap on the face of anybody that believes in freedom. Some people are dead today because of what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some people has fallen into depression. Some people lost hope completely from what we are doing because of what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the way it is being handled. So many people have so many things. So many families broke because of what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Husband and wives are no more friends. Families torn apart because of continuous detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So to us Biafrans, it is different things to different people, and we continue to handle it the way we could. But the only thing I want to say this evening to you is to hang on there. Hang on there. Hang on there. Don't give up completely. Don't join those who has fallen apart. Don't join those who has betrayed, sabotaging, or sabotaged. Don't join those who have resorted into speaking all manner of lies, propaganda against Biafrans and Onyindu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That has always been their plans. The reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in the first place was to demonize you. They want to demonize you. They want you to be demonized. By demonizing you, you don't see the need for Biafra anymore. It will be to your tent, O Israel. That has always been their target. It was not necessarily Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was about you. Like Mazi someone said in that video. He said, the target is not him. The target is always you. When they went to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it was not him, it was you, it was I. So the illegal detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not about him, it's about you. If you know these things, you will understand that we don't need to fight each other. We don't need to call each other names. We don't need to cover evil because we have something to gain from the person that is committing that evil. Truth is one thing that can never be buried. You keep burying the truth, it keeps coming out. Truth can never lose. Truth may take out time. It may take time, but surely it must win the battle. Stand on the truth if you are part of this. The only thing that will make you to survive or succeed, the only thing that will make you to be part of those who will be celebrating in Biafra land is your determination to stand by the truth, irrespective of what is facing you or what you are facing. Always know that whenever you call a spade, you have just saved lives. Anytime you start to swindle, speaking from both sides of your mouth, then you are causing more damage. You are causing death. You are causing things that you cannot even imagine. So I want us to always remain resolute while we wait for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Each and every one of us have just watched the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team world press briefing the other time, and in that there was nothing said in that briefing that is new to us. It's something we know already, something we are conversant with. We have said it, we have lamented about it, we have cried about it, we have shouted about it. In several times we have spoken about it, so it's not something new. But the reason we must bring all these things up almost every time, almost every day, is so that those who are holding us down, so those who has brought us to the point we are today, their only plan is to break us. The only plan is to cover the truth. Okukosi, I don't want to use Igbo language to explain this. Okukosi na ihe aji eti mkpu abụrụ ka ihe ji erapụ ya. Kama na kụwa wee nụrụ onu ya. We must always emphasize on these things until what is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what is holding Biafra, will give up and leave us and let us be. We must always continue to remind Nigeria that their continuous oppression, injustice, their continuous suppression over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the entire Biafra will never be covered. We will never allow it to rest. We continue to lament on it. We continue to expose it. We continue to ring it. We continue to say it to whom it may concern. That is the reason Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's Lego team, they did not add anything new. It's something we know, but they need to continuously emphasize on them. That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to do this evening. I'm going to bring I'm going to play the video clips of that press briefing. And I'm going to try my possible best to elaborate on some of the points, because some of us, we don't have time to listen to those things, except now that we are here on this program, watching the program, that they may listen to it. So I want you, if in case, if you have not watched that press briefing, you are about to listen to it this evening, and I may not be playing it on the system. I may be playing it through my phone, so you can hear the voice of that press briefing. So the topic to our program this evening says, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu legal team world press briefing, unraveling the mysteries. Unraveling the mysteries. Yes, it's a mystery. So many things was said on that day. So many people could not interpret everything. So many people interpreted it based on their own understanding and knowledge. So shall we be doing this evening. We also try our best to interpret what was said about, in that world press briefings. If you remember, it was all over Zoom media, television, news, newspapers, and so on and so forth, everywhere. They were talking about that world press briefings. But something remarkable happened, and just this evening I was surfing internet, the X, the Twitter, because that is where everything is happening. If you're not in Twitter, then I don't know what they're doing on social media. That is where serious-minded people are. If you want the world to hear you, not Facebook, not really YouTube. The only place that is like open world, where there is freedom of speech in its complete definition, where you see men and women that those that rule the world, is on Twitter. So anything you see on Twitter is serious. Anybody who is serious must be on Twitter. And that is why it is encouraged. If you are a Biafran, you must be on Twitter so that we will do this together. So this evening, as I was surfing the internet, something came. No. I saw Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife tweet, where he was tweeting about. She was tweeting about what? What was she tweeting about? Then I said, let me check. So I scrolled down. Then it rang on me. Oh, I couldn't see this word, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team word press briefings. I didn't see it. She didn't share it. She didn't even make a comment on it. It was like I was dreaming. I had to go down. No, I thought that, oh, I'm where I am now is December. I came up again. And I was like, wow. This woman could not share the world press briefing of her husband's legal team, but she is busy sharing other things that does not actually, that is not as serious as that word press, because every Biafran, I believe, and is a lover and a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, share that word press briefing of his legal team. If you don't share it, then what are you doing? If you do not identify with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, and even if you do not, even if you don't like, I've said this thing several times, you do not have to love or like somebody to work with that person. It's not everybody in your working place that you like. There are people you don't like, but you have to work with them. There are leaders you don't, not everybody like Tinubu. Is it everybody in Nigeria like Tinubu? No. But they don't have choice but to work with him. Working with somebody does not make you his friend or her friend. But there is a target. And that target, we must join our hands together, both friends and foes, to actualize or achieve it. So in offices, not everybody likes each other. There are those who don't like enemies can work in the same office. So you don't need to like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, because it's what I'm noticing, or what I've come to find out, is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife does not like Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, or let me just say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife does not like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's current legal team. But that is childish. That is being evil to me. Because you don't need to like that person. All you need is result. This person is working to bring your husband out. And you made us to understand that you love your husband and you want your husband to come out. So why are you not propagating the release or trying to ordinary share things that the legal teams of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are doing? Why not sharing it? The things they are doing, why don't you share it? Are you telling me that if it was Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that you wouldn't share it? You know, I look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife, I don't want to get involved in her issues. I don't want to get involved in Mazi Kano's wife issue. But the reason why I'm saying this one is that it has become so obvious that she has lost it completely. For her not to share this word press briefings of Mazi Kano's legal team says a lot. Says a lot. It says a lot about her. She used her husband's life, well-being, to play games. For goodness sake, it does not take Mazi Kano's wife anything sharing that press briefing, even if she doesn't want to watch it, even if she doesn't like it, Mako or whoever, she does not have to ignore sharing that press briefing. It is wickedness in a high level. It is against her husband. It is against everything that she professes. Seriously. Any right-thinking man or Biafran by now should not take Mazi Kano's wife serious anymore. I'm telling you the truth. She have just displayed the highest level of stupidity and ignorance. That is what it is. For her not to share this word press briefing, that even Nigerian media houses, it was in their lips for 1 or 2 days. It made headlines in the whole media house in Nigeria. But Mazi Kano's wife could not even share the news because the press briefing is coming from someone she is beefing. You are beefing your husband's leg, someone who is handling your husband's life, someone who is handling his case. You are beefing the person. Are you not being ignorant? She is ignorant. Forget about all the grammar that she come. Sometimes when you speak too much grammar, you become stupid. Because some people does not even understand those useless grammar. Who cares? Instead of you to speak to people, you resorted to speaking grammar. You think all these vocabularies means anything to any serious individual will know. We see it as this person. It's like this person is learning. So that is it. I was so heartbroken when I found out that she did not share or make any comment in regard to that. It is quite unfortunate. I don't know if she has two X pages. If she do, please, I would like to know. But the ones I'm following on Twitter, she did not share it. She did not. So if you go to her Twitter, please, maybe I didn't see well. You can go and look and see. Maybe I'm accusing her falsely. So I will apologize. Or rather, I will restrain. Yeah. I don't want to accuse her wrongly. So I want you that is viewing, please, you can comment. If she share, you can say, oh, Mazi, you are accusing her wrongly. She share it, then I will apologize. I will stop. But as long as I know she did not share it. So, but that is part of, that is, by the way, that is not the reason I'm here. The reason I'm here is to talk about it. So I'm going to bring the word press briefings. Then I'll play it to us. Now, Now let me come. Please, I'm going to be playing the video through my phone. So I want you to follow me while I do that.
The son of university and any other person, the son of 1 million naira, if such student finds any precedent on stay of execution in criminal proceeding where an acquitted person is by such order restrained from enjoying his freedom. It is an illegality that will haunt Nigeria for a long time to come. But then it was granted because Mazen Amigano is of the Igbo extraction and must suffer, notwithstanding what the provisions of the laws are. On the part of the Supreme Court, Oyendu Mazen Amigano did not jump bill, but rather ran away from the treacherous acts of Operation Python Dance to save his life and physical well-being. At page 10 and 11 of the Supreme Court finding and decisions, it was held that the respondent was on bail and therefore in the custody of the law when his home was illegally invaded by heavily armed military officers of the appellant, causing him to flee from his home and country to secure his life. In the face of such an attack, it was reasonable for him to flee to secure his life and physical well-being. That is what any normal and reasonable human being would do in that circumstance to preserve his life and physical well-being. The High Court in Enugu State, in suit number E20/2023, between Mazen Nnamdi Kanu versus Federal Republic of Nigeria and 4 others, delivered on the 26th day of October 2023 by Justice A.O. Onovo, in the enrolled order of his judgment declared thus, that the practical application of the Terrorism Prevention Act and the executive or administrative action of the respondents, which directly led to the proscription of IPOB and its listing as a terrorist group, said IPOB being comprised of citizens of Nigeria of Igbo and Eastern Nigeria ethnic group, professing the political opinion of self-determination and the consequential arrest, detention, and prosecution of applicant as member/leader of the said IPOB is illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional, and amount to infringement of the applicant's fundamental right not to be subjected to any disability or restriction on the basis of his ethnicity as enshrined and guaranteed under Section 42 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and his fundamental rights as enshrined under Article 2, 319 and 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Both the decision of the Supreme Court on the unlawfulness of the revocation of Onyendu's bill and the judgment of the High Court of Enugu State remains valid, subsisting, and not tinkered with. But no person obeys them because it does not favor the federal government of Nigeria. In fact, Section 2871 of the and 3 of the Constitution that makes it compulsory for all persons and authority to obey and effect to the judgment of the Supreme Court. And the trial court is never entrenched in the Constitution as to benefit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is not disputable that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has the constitutional right to agitate for Biafra. Self-determination is recognized and sanctioned under our laws and under normal circumstances. His prosecutions are the violators of the law of the land. If one may ask, on what premise, therefore, is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu detained in the Department of State Security Service? And Nigerian court's orders and judgment useless, or useless only as they affect Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Why is it that when the judgment is against the federal government of Nigeria, they will not be obeyed? But if it's in their favor, they quickly rush to obey it. Thank you. At this point, I will hand over to my friend, Honorable Barrister Jude Ugwai. I'm giving you justice. Sorry.
Now, let let me explain. Let me explain something he said. If you remember, it was on the news that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that he's going to give 1 million to any student in Nigeria or any person in Nigeria who can explain the precedent about decision of Nigerian government to ask for stay of execution. Now I'm gonna tell you what that explained to you to the ability of my knowledge, what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is trying to say. But before I tell you what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, I want to tell you what, when you hear the word president, that word president is always a term used in legal matters, and it has this meaning. It is a legal word. It is a legal word. A precedent is a previous case or legal decision that established a rule or principle that court or other bodies can follow when deciding subsequent cases with similar facts. I mean, with similar issues or facts. It simply means that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying is that he wants anybody in Nigeria, any student in Nigeria or anybody in Nigeria to explain to him where a court gave order or rule on a case that you cannot see elsewhere. No other case has ruled on this case before. Because you know how these things work. When court want to, or when judgment is going on, they make references. Because when you make judgment or rule on somebody, maybe for instance, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what is it called? This stay of execution, what is it? When a court grants a stay of execution in a criminal case, it means that the court has ordered a temporary halt, the enforcement of a court judgment or sentence. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, please, anybody can explain to him where in Nigerian legal history that a court has ruled over a case as his, and government or anybody, government go to another court and get stay of execution, not to obey the judgment of that of the court. Where in the history of Nigeria has any court ruled a case and the government went and got stay of execution in a criminal case government went and got execution, state of execution against that same case, and it was obeyed. Remember, president, he said that it happened somewhere before. It has happened somewhere previously. That is why Mazen Khan is asking. Because what Mazen Khan is saying now is, you did this thing because it's me today. Remember, it has already gone to the history of Nigerian judiciary that such thing has happened. And it must be considered in the future. It must be used as a reference in the future, as long as Nigerian judiciary is concerned. Whether it is Tinubu in the future who may have case in Nigeria, this judgment will come to play in the future. That is why the Mazen Khan's legal team made that comment that the judgment on Mazen Khan has changed Nigeria's judicial system and is going to haunt Nigeria for a very long time. That is why Mazen Khan knew that it has never happened anywhere in Nigeria before. That is why he gave 1 million to anybody, any student or any individual who may bring it, make a reference. That is the reason. That is what is called precedence in legal issues, legal case like this. It's used. The judges, they always rely on precedence when they want to make their judgment. It has, or when there is argument in the court, lawyers use precedence. They make references in 19 so person in this so case by this make such thing happened, and this decision was taken. So Mazen Khan's own has entered into the history of Nigeria judiciary that will warrant that tomorrow people will begin to use it as a reference point in Nigeria. When we say that Mazen Khan has brought Nigeria to a point of no return, some people don't understand what he meant. Nigeria is willing to destroy everything for the sake of Mazen Khan. And they think that those things will be wiped out. No. Whether Biafra remains or go, whether Biafra is part of Nigeria or not, it has already entered into the judicial record. Nigeria, it is there. It will be used as a reference in Nigeria as long as Nigeria remains a country. This thing they did, granting execution order on a matter that has been discharged, a matter that a suspect has been discharged, acquitted by the court. Government run straight to Supreme Court and got a stay on execution for the court, for the government, so that they will not release the person. They still held him. That is what Mazen Khan is saying. Where else has it happened? Bring it and you win 1 million naira. And up to date, I've not seen anybody who said anything in regards to that. That means Mazen Khan is the first person in the history of Nigerian judiciary to experience this illegal proceedings of the court, of the Supreme Court, or whatever. So that is what Mazen Khan said. And that is what the message the legal team passed there when they made that comment. Because some people may not understand what they were trying to say. I just explained it to you, what that meant. that judgment, Mazi Kanu, since 1914, that Nigeria was amalgamated. Then from 1960 till date, no judgment in Nigeria. Nobody in Nigeria, no court in Nigeria has granted state execution order on a case that a suspect accuser was discharged, acquitted. So Nigerian government has brought themselves to a point of no return, and it has always, Mazi Kanu, like he said, I will destroy Nigeria, and he is doing so. The legal team also talked about the judgment of 2023 by Justice Unraveling, where he ruled that the proscription of IPOB is wrong and illegal. He went on to say that self-determination is not a crime in Nigeria. So if self-determination is not a crime in Nigeria, what is the legality behind the proscription of Mazi Kanu? I've talked about that ex parte order. You know, IPOB was proscribed under ex parte order. And since that thing happened, IPOB has appealed this ex parte order, the proscription against them. Since then till date, Nigerian government has been running away from this case. It will interest you to know that those who first proscribed Mazi Kanu was the former 5 governors of the Eastern Nigeria then, Obiano, Ugwuanyi, Rocha, is it Rocha or Rocha? Alex Oti. Is it Alex Oti? Sorry. Alex Oti. What is it? Again? Okay, see Baso and Omani. For you to understand, these 5 people are no more in the seat of power in their various states. They are gone. They are no more there. But the damages, this destruction they brought is still there, ravaging the land. These men are no more in the seat of power. That is why we keep telling the likes of Soludo, who is busy making stupid laws in Anambra State, who is busy. Because when we're telling this man, Soludo, about what he's trying to do to Anambra State, he thought that we were joking. Today, Anambra State, after Imo State, Anambra State is the 2nd most ravaged state by insecurity in Nigeria. I mean, in Eastern Nigeria today. Anambra State used to be one of the calmest states in Southeast. But since the emergence of Soludo as a governor, Anambra State has become one of the 2nd worst hit states by insecurity in Eastern Nigeria because of the useless governor they have. Now we are telling him he is busy going everywhere, making stupid laws, causing more problems. We have told these people, dialogue is the best. Go and you people must come together so Mazi Kanu will be released. Nobody is saying that the cost of insecurity, that it is the followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that are causing. No, criminals hide behind this, the illegal detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to cause this crime in our land. And we told Soludo to gather those other governors, 4 or 5 of them, and they should go to Tinubu, speak to Tinubu, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that we know who is who in Igbo land. They refuse. They are enjoying the blood they are wasting in our land. They are enjoying the properties they are wasting. They are enjoying the lives that are being kidnapped. They are enjoying it. That is why they will never do anything to allow it, to make it to stop. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team said, one of the things the barrister said was that rules that was made about Supreme Court was not because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Those laws that Supreme Court judgment is final was not made because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Those judgments, those rules were there before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu even was born. Supreme Court has always been a Supreme Court, the highest court of the land. No other court is beyond, it's above Supreme Court. Whatever Supreme Court said is final. As far as Nigeria jurisdiction is concerned, Supreme Court of Nigeria remains the highest authority. Whatever they said is law on its own. It was not made because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But what Nigerian government makes it to look like is like those laws were made because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why when they say something that is beneficial, they think, like when they give judgment that is beneficial to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a judgment that is against the Nigerian government, they will not obey it. They went to the Supreme Court said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's bail was revoked in error. Supreme Court questioned the impartiality of the Justice Binta Nyako. Supreme Court said that bail was not supposed to be revoked. Supreme Court agreed and ruled that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did what is right. How could you come to a man's life, man's land, a family house, to try to kill him? And when the man ran away, you turn out to say that he ran away. Why is he running away? And he's not supposed to run away. But this man is running for his life. So Supreme Court said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. So if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail, the revocation of his bail is absolutely wrong step. And they told the judge to make sure that she corrected that error. She didn't do it. Nigerian government blocked their ears on that particular judgment. But when Supreme Court said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must stand trial, Binta Nyako and Nigerian government hit to that judgment and wanted to accelerate this trial without considering other things that followed. So this is exactly what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team was trying to say in that first press briefing. Now we are going to go to the second person who said something. And let's hear what that one has to say. I think, let me bring it back. Now, let's go.
Pages there. Video, even 10 hours video, and wrote a strongly worded letter to the then president of Nigeria to retrace his steps and restore IPOB to its former legal status and cease and desist from further arresting or harassing or persecuting members of IPOB. Yet, from the date of issuance of that decision to when the former president left office, nothing was done. Rather, the opposite was done. The persecution, prosecution, arrest, torture, everything became even worse. It is pertinent to mention at this juncture, perhaps as a necessary digression, that had the former president of Nigeria implemented that directive issuing from the African Union, a lot of people who died numbering in hundreds, some say in the thousands, and in fact, including Martin Namdekano's infamous extraordinary rendition from Kenya in 2021, wouldn't have happened. A lot of lives would have been saved, and the nation would have been more at peace. And we would not have the insecurity that we are grappling with today in the Southeast. And further to the decision of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, the United Nations.
So, but that is part of that is by the way. It's not the reason I'm here. The reason I'm here is talk about
through its special rapporteurs transmitted a decision in 2020, May, precisely 2020, no, in October 2020, condemning the proscription, IPOB, and the terrorist tag placed on it. The quotations of what they said are contained in our press release, and they are verbose. But the summary of what they are saying is that the action of the federal government was driven by some ethnic considerations against the Igbo, and that the action offended every non-canon of international human rights law. Consequently, this organ, which is a very important organ of the United Nations, directed the federal government to do the opposite by proscribing IPOB. That the action was never taken to get that done, and so here we have it, that for quite some time now, these things have persisted, and here we are with the dramatis personae, this most single factor in this whole saga is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who remains in detention to this day under questionable circumstances. At this juncture, I will yield to my colleague to my right, Vice-Chancellor Emeka Ejiofor, to take you through some of the analysis of what I have said. Thank you.
now what did Barrister Aloy Ejimakor trying to say? Barrister Aloy Ejimakor started by saying that he wrote a strong wording letters to the former president of Nigeria to remove the that is when I mean former president of Nigeria, Buhari, because remember it was during Buhari's government that IPOB was proscribed. So he said that he wrote a strong wording letters to former president of Nigeria, Tinubu, to remove the proscription on IPOB. He went on to say that that letter was not hit to, because he already knew where it was going to. So he made that letter, he brought together that letter and wrote and submitted to the former president of Nigeria to retrace his step, to review the prescription on IPOB. He went on to say that if that warning, if that letter if what he said in that letter was followed, all the people, thousands and thousands of Biafrans that is being tied everywhere, that was tied both in Onitsha, in Aba, in Enugu, in Owerri, in Abia State, in Port Harcourt, all these lives would have been saved if that letter was taken serious. But because of the hatred that was driving that former president of Nigeria, Buhari, against Ndibo, he was hell-bent to destroy everything destroyable. Basalis Michael said that even the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Kanu wouldn't have been possible or necessary if that advice to deproscribe IPOB was followed. But look at where we are today. Lives being lost everywhere. Insecurity has where is safe. Everybody is scrambling to find solution. But the truth is that the solution is someone not wants to believe that that is actually the truth. The truth of these things is, first, you have to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Secondly, IPOB is not a terrorist group. Even US got involved. After looking at it, according to by UN, by Salaj Macomenos, the subsequent rulings of both AU, both what's it called, those African some whatever, following their special rapporteur, who said that looking after taking a critical look into the scenario playing out, they can be able to see actions driven by ethnic considerations. The judgment, the conclusion of the UN special rapporteur, they said that the actions of Nigerian government against IPOB that is made up 80 to 90% of Ndibo. Looking at it from that actions, they said was driven by ethnic considerations, because it is Ndibo. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is past Onigbo. Let me get a tweet for you by Sowore today. Let me get his tweet for you. He tweeted something. You know, Sowore has proven a genuine Nigeria. That he's a genuine Nigeria. He does not support anything that is called oppression, probably because he's coming from there. But at a political, when his life was threatened by Abacha. So he was a member of NEDECO then, those who championed the what's it called? This new dispensation of Tinubu was one of them. He was one of those who championed. Then on the process, Abacha started looking for him. He ran away. I'm trying to get his. I don't follow him, so I can. I'm trying to get to his. So. Okay, I've seen it. So now, Sowore tweeted. Sorry, I deviated. Now, look at what Sowore wrote. The reason I'm bringing it because I want you to compare it with what UN said. He said, this fellow at Bashir Ahmad is speaking the mind of his benefactors. When at Muhammad Buhari was one of the reasons he would get openly aggressive and upset. Remember, just like yesterday or day before, the Arise TV was interviewing a Wiki. Immediately they asked him if he is Igbo. You could see that. You could see that aggressive. You can see that. You could see the aggressiveness. You can see how upset he was answering that question. He was agitated. He was agitated. He was aggressive. He doesn't want to hear anything about Igbo in his ear. Even when he was pretending that he is friends to Yundi, you can see how hot, how aggressive he was. Go and listen to that that video. See what he was doing during the time during his time. When you mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before Buhari, he will nearly cut your head off. He will become so aggressive and upset. And Sowore captured it here when he said, when Muhammadu Buhari was in power at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was one of the reasons he would get openly aggressive and upset. He could not control it, and he's the president anymore. He will lose it. Mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he will lose it. He could walk out from that interview. So that was what Omola Eshere said. Now, at Bashir, Ahmed just didn't wake up to make this egregious statements he represents, and they assume Nigeria is their property, real estate, and the only they determine it is the reason why I have consistently stated that at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage by these feudal hands in a court of law, and the court cases are just a mere charade to create an impression that he is as a result of this bogey that they label as charges. Remember, the reason he made this tweet was because yesterday this man, the former secretary to the person of Bashir Ahmed, he said he tweeted yesterday and said, anybody advocating for Nnamdi Kanu's release is Nigeria's sworn enemy. This is to show you willing to capitulate. They are we did this on the comment section. You see so many of the Fulanis, so many of the Yorubas who will come and tell you, yes, he should rot there. He should die there. So, what am I saying this evening? What I'm saying is, when UN said that the proscription of IPOB as a terrorist group was not done legal battle or out of the crimes committed by IPOB. No, it was purely out of ethnic consideration because they are Igbo. Why would they Nigeria enemies? We conquered them during the war. Who are they? In this country, they don't have right to be presidents. They don't have right to own anything. They don't have right to be this. They don't have right to be that. Their only right in Nigeria is to continuously supporting one Nigeria through their investment in other states, not even in their state, because they made sure that an Igbo is not attractive for investment. Remember that as an Igbo man or woman, there is nothing for you in an Igbo. They made sure that there's nothing attractive when it comes to investment. Where are you going to invest? If the only investment in an Igbo is hotel, that is the only viable investment in an Igbo today. Hotel. That is why those who have made money and those who will still make money, what the so an Igbo is only good for building hotels, nothing more. There's no presence of any government in our land. Nothing. No headquarters of any government is in our land. Nothing. It's only state-owned institutions and companies. That is an individual built companies. There's no government. So they have made us their certified slaves. So anytime we stand up to ask questions, our life, we go in for it. So UN found out this secret. And now the question is, if actually UN agreed that the buyer of the Igbo people in Nigeria is not because of the crime that they committed. It is purely for ethnic consideration. And the same people are always coming to crying to the same UN. Please set us free. Please allow us to go. Tell Nigeria to allow Ndi Igbo to go. If you cannot live with them, let them go. The same UN will insist that, oh, you have future in Nigeria, work it out. You can work it out. You can live together. You can find your feet back until the time we wake up to see nobody in our land. The time we wake up and our land has been taken over. Someone was writing today, one of those IPOB stroke Nigeria pressure group in the name of Emeka Gift. I saw what he wrote today. He said that the level, the amount of Fulanis trooping into our land of recent is alarming. He made this, and he said, oh, you must go, you must support our ESN. That is it. They keep deceiving themselves. The amount of the Fulanis trooping into our land from the Sahel region, from Mali, from Burkina Faso, from Ghana recently. Remember that this new Ghana president, I saw it in a video where they were sending Fulanis out of Ghana. Because if you think it's only Nigeria that they are committing all these atrocities, you all over Africa, all over Sahel countries, Fulanis are a menace. The only thing that made Nigeria own different is because the Nigerian government welcomed them, entered into secret agreement for them to resettle them and make Nigeria a permanent home for the Fulanis. That is why Nigerian own is trickish. That is why Nigerian own is kind of dangerous. Otherwise, Fulanis all over the Africa and all over Sahel is a problem. Why our own is like we are in more danger is because the government of this country where we belong has given them, or rather signed a secret deal with them that anywhere you can conquer, take. That is why in all the Middle Belt places now, all the villages in the Middle Belt, you see all these people in IDP camp. They don't have any place to go home anymore. In fact, in the next 10 years, even the IDP camp, whatever they call it, IDP camp where they live today, they will not even have they will have to go anywhere. Go anywhere you want to go. You go back to your village, it is now taken over by Fulanis. That is what we don't want. And that is what they are doing. They have surrendered our land. If you go to Yoruba land, it's worst. The problem with Yoruba people is that they are doing to themselves, thinking that they are dealing to Ndibo. They are hiding. Listen, Obasanjo, during the Obasanjo time as a president of Nigeria, remember, he signed Sharia for the North. He gave Sharia and legalized it for the Northern Nigeria. Now, another Yoruba man has come. And the same Yoruba man also has entered a secret agreement with some Fulanis to legalize Sharia in the West. If you don't know that this is what is happening, then I don't know what to tell you. Obasanjo gave Fulanis Sharia in the North, a Yoruba man. Now, another Yoruba man is in power, and he signed to give this Fulanis Sharia in the Western Nigeria, in Yoruba land, and it is on a high speed. They may try to suppress it, cover it, but you know what? You cannot cover pregnancy. It's going to happen sooner than later, but it must happen. The worst hit by the Fulani invasion are the Middle Belters and the Yoruba people. Yorubas are, they are cowards, they are deceivers, and they have not actually turned back. Look at what all these kind of treacherous acts they have been perpetrating since their life. Even they accepted the name Yariba as part of them, as their identity, because of their treacherous spirits. And they have never agreed that it has always come back to haunt them. Because of their treacherous nature, they lost in Lorraine. Today, Kwara State is not referred as part of Yoruba land. It is northern, and it is being dominated by the Fulanis with the Fulani emir. And worse is about to happen to them. Worse is about to happen to them. So, what I'm saying is that we have been surrendered by these Fulani people. The only reason we are, Chukwu Kabam always have a way. He protects we Biafrans. Remember that before, Osman Danfodion was heading to our land. He got to Middle Belt. He was stopped. Now, another wave of Usman Danfodion ideology is happening in a very, very brutal way. And Chukwu Kabiama raised Biafra and Mazinam Dekan before they come. And we are withstanding, and we are resisting them, and we shall continue to resist them. Now, let us continue with what Mazen Kanu's Lego team are saying.
They've taken to get that done here we have it, that for quite some time now, these things have persisted. And here we are with a dramatic personnel, this most single factor in this whole saga is Mazen Namdekano, who remains in detention to this day under questionable circumstances. At this juncture, I will yield to my colleague to my right, Emeka Ejiofor, to take you through some of the analysis of what I have said. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen of the press, what I said and what my two colleagues have said can be summarized as follows. One, recall that Mazen Namdekano's case was commenced almost over 9 years ago when he was first arrested in Lagos. Recall also that he was then charged with offenses relating to his broadcast on Radio Biafra from his location in London. You can imagine what it means for someone to be on an endless trial that never really happens for almost 10 years and being detained without conviction for 18 months, initially from 2015 to 2017, and again for over 3.5 years from 2021 to the present day. This alone is a gross injustice of its unique kind. Two, it's also to be recalled that after Mazen Namdekano was freed on bail, Nigerians have these little attacks against him that drove him into exile, involuntary exile, from which he was also renditioned in 2021. And recall the decision made in 2018 by the African Union that everything that has happened to the IPOB from 2017 to that very date, and of course, much worse happened after. Recall that those things were declared illegal and unlawful, and as having violated the African Charter at a continental scale. Now, also, the same action, in particular, the proscription of IPOB in 2017, provoked or triggered the rush of litigation that eventually culminated in the ruling of the High Court of Enugu State, declaring that such actions by the federal government of Nigeria against Mazen Namdekano and IPOB are unconstitutional. So the question to ask is this: why is it that the IPOB, being of Igbo stock, it is not us as a legal team making allegations? We have rulings of the international community. In the same vein, we have rulings of municipal courts in Nigeria indicating that what is happening to IPOB is nothing more than an ethnic persecution. 3. Now, having survived the little attacks and having survived this many years in enforced exile and having undergone all these tribulations and travails and having been renditioned, these actions, this very action of the federal government of rendition triggered the international legal order. In July 2022, the United Nations Human Rights Council came down with a gavel that Mazen Namdekano was extraordinarily renditioned and that it was a violation of all canons of international law to which Nigeria is subject, and it recommended a generous compensation to be paid to him and cessation of his prosecution. That was ignored by the federal government. 4. It is noteworthy that on 29th June 2021, as indicated before, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arraigned when they can say produced in court are begged secretly through the back door and presented before Honorable Justice Peter Moritala Nyako, who was aware that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had cancelled a record. The prosecution was aware Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had cancelled a record, not us, his former lawyers. And the DSS was aware of the information of his cancelled record. Everything was on file. Yet, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or the court conducted hearing over the head of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and remanded him to DSS custody without notice to his counsel, not to talk of presence of his counsel. This is a flagrant violation of Section 36 of the Nigerian Constitution. 5. When you fast forward to October 2022, when the Court of Appeal discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there was also a judgment issuing from the Federal High Court sitting in Umuahia, which had declared his rendition from Kenya as unconstitutional. It didn't stop there. It went as far as declaring his continued detention in Abuja as unconstitutional. What will you do or expect a responsible government to do when the detention of her citizen is declared unconstitutional? You open the gates of the detention center and allow the citizen the free pass to go home. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu deserved to have been done with him since October 2022 when that judgment came. But the federal government never did. That's part of the reason why we are saying his detention has turned extrajudicial and is no longer backed by any coroner.
Now, Biafrans, this is part of this of the world press briefings by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. If you are interested, you can go to Barrister Aloyjumako's Twitter page or even in his Facebook, and you can listen to the full part of that press briefing there. Like I told you before, everything they said is already in the open. There is nothing new. Now, if you remember, he was talking about how long Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has stayed in this trial. The trial has been going on for the past nine years. How could which same countries in this world could do that? For the past 9 years, you have been on one single case without arriving to a judgment. 9 good years. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was first arrested in 2015. The accusation then was that he was broadcasting from Radio Biafra from London, that he imported transmission illegally. So all these charges, none is in his charges anymore. They have secretly, by night, removed these charges and replaced it now with terrorism charges. And still, it's nothing. And Nigerian government understand that they do not stand any chance in any court of law, even in their own backyard, against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because there is no actual charges. It is all fabrication. And they knew and understand that if they open a fair trial, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to dust them completely. So because of that, they do not want. They rather resorted to delay tactics. Remember, they went to Kenya in 2021 to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 2021 till date is almost 5 years. This is 2025. 4 years and counting. They have not actually started a real trial yet. They only want to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in their custody indefinitely. This is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's wife does not know. All she does is to fight against those she doesn't like. He joined those who hate his husband to fight against her husband. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team is trying to bring everything that happened together the way they are, all the court judgments, all the victories that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has won against the Nigerian government, all the courts rulings against the Nigerian government, Nigerian government disobedience to their own courts, the impunity of Nigerian government, and now the gang up of the Nigerian government and Nigerian judiciary against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that is where we are today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not facing Nigerian government now. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu against Nigeria judiciary. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no more against Nigerian government because he has defeated Nigerian government roundly. There is no hiding place for Nigerian government. Now, because Nigerian government is, because Nigerian judiciary is inside the pockets of Nigerian government. Now, the Nigerian government has exchanged position with Nigerian judiciary. Now, it is not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu against Nigerian judiciary. That is why I remember that Binta Nyako recused herself. Nigerian Chief Justice of the Federation refused. He insisted that Binta Nyako must sit on that judgment, on the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even when she has recused herself, returned all the files back to Nigerian government. But they insisted that she must oversee, she must preside over that case. It is because it is Nigerian judiciary against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what the message Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team are trying to pass. That is the message they want the world to know. And it is no more between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is now between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Nigerian judiciary. And tell me, like Sowore said, do you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to get justice from Nigerian courts? No. Do you think there is anywhere that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stand chances against Nigerian judiciary? The answer is still a resounding no. There is no way. There is no way. So we continue to call Nigerian government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We continue to call them to do the right thing. There is no hiding place for them. every international organization, both the UN, both the African AU, all of them has come out to say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. He has not committed any crime. That Nigerian government is the ones who are committing crimes by holding, or rather by kidnapping and subduing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, subjecting him to the dungeon. So that is what the press world press briefing was all about. There's nothing new that they said that has not been said before in our programs. I've said it before. We continue to say it, and we continue to say it. And we shall continue to stand by anybody who's joined us to call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not that Fulani. Don't mind, leave Fulanis. Without the Yoruba people, there is no Fulani, not even our Hausa people. The only people that gives Fulanis the leverage they enjoy in Nigeria today are the Yorubas. Without the Yorubas, there will be no Fulanis. What is it called? Emasculation in Nigeria. The only thing that made Fulanis to look relevant in Nigeria is because the Yorubas, in their cowardice, in their treacherous nature, has decided to side with the monsters called the Fulanis. And that is why Fulanis has looked themselves and they think that they are the ones who decide who lives and who dies. Do you think that if it is between the Fulanis and the Igbo in Nigeria, that Fulanis will stand a chance? No. They don't stand a single chance against Igbo. They know it. That is why they keep running. No matter what the Yoruba did, you see what Tinubu is doing to them now. You see how Tinubu is dealing with them. Don't worry. If you're waiting for them to sever their political romance, you are joking. They will still support Tinubu in 2027. And Tinubu will still rig the election and complete his 8-year tenure, because the agreement remains. Fulani will take over after Tinubu. So instead of Fulani to risk it all by going against Tinubu and coming back to lose, they would rather suffer another 8 years of humiliation in the hand of Yoruba, knowing that in 30 or 20,100, when they will take over, they are going to recover. They are going to still deal with the Yoruba the way they deal with them. So the Yoruba people are the problem of Nigeria. They are the foundation in which the Fulani is built. And the thing that the Yoruba people don't know, they have not realized, or rather, they know, but because they are destined to be conquered in 21st century by Fulanis, they want to rather turn blind eyes to obvious. The obvious thing staring at Yorubas is danger. Danger is knocking, but they do not want to hear. They do not want to believe. They do not want to come to realization that this is actually a truth that is able to destroy them completely. Because of 8 years of presidency, they don't care. Just like Afonja. Just like Afonja in Ilorin. Because of the promises of kingship, Afonja gave over the land of Yoruba to the Fulanis. They are promised Tinubu, and Tinubu is now in power. he is signing off the land of territory of Yoruba people to the Fulanis. And nobody, the only thing that is the problem of a Yoruba man is Biafra. Indeed, when you talk about those who are having identity crisis, the likes of Wike and some of them, when you talk about them, you see a Yoruba man. Adeboye in Togo is a Yoruba man. Adeboye in Togo is a Yoruba man. But Okechukwu in Ikwere is not a Yoruba man. Sinedu in Okwane is not a Yoruba man. I mean, it's not Igbo man. A Yoruba person will come and tell you, no, leave me now. He said it's not Igbo. Why are you dragging people to be Igbo? But Adeboye all the way in Togo, he's a Yoruba man. That is the treacherous nature of a Yoruba person, a typical Yoruba person. They are embodiment of evil deceit. That's who they are. You can't change a Yoruba man from that. That is their own trait. It runs in their DNA. So let us continue. Let us continue praying for our leader. Let us continue to give him all the support he needs to come off this. He will pull it off. He has already defeated Nigeria. He will come out, no matter how they want to do it, no matter all the mechanism they put in place. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has defeated Nigeria. There is no two ways about it. You can't stop that. So we shall continue to pray for our leader so that it will happen, because he has tried his best. He can be able to withstand all this pressure. He don't need to. Let me see this. Now, there's something I want to bring to our attention before I round off this this program. Where is this thing? Okay. No. Okay. Now, if you remember, there is something happened. Something happened. IPOB have what is called IPOB Code of Conduct. And that IPOB Code of Conduct was put together by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself. And never a time did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ask us to alter it when he's not around. He said that this is IPOB Code of Conduct, which will lead us to our final destination if properly followed. And while Mazen Kanu was here, that the IPOB Code of Conduct remains untouchable and acceptable by all. Our modus operandi, if you want to know anything about us, IPOB, go to our Code of Conduct. Anything you see there, that is who we are. But immediately Mazen Kanu got arrested, kidnapped, some traits of sabotage, opposition against IPOB Code of Conduct started coming out. That was when we began to hear that IPOB Code of Conduct is not complete. That's, like I told you, why these things was raging in South then, initial stage, when this disobedience to Mazen Kanu, insubordination, why it was raging. I received a call from, what is his name? This guy, this former executive of South African national coordinator. He's executive. I case for this guy. I still a call from him. While we're talking, we talk to some length. Then we talk about that. Why he was trying to convince me of why we must follow the way they want things to be done, the new ways of doing things. I keep referring him back to IPOB Code of Conduct, what IPOB Code of Conduct said about that particular topic. So at a point, he told me, I am Nachi. I am Nachi after. He's the former, I don't know, I forgot what he used to be. I am Nachi. Then I am Nachi told me, he said, comrade. I said, yeah. He said, leave IPOB Code of Conduct. That Mazen Kanu is not perfect. There are things he's put that is in IPOB Code of Conduct that is good. There are things that are not good. Some of them, we can change them. Some of them, we can accept them. So when we come to those who that does not favor us, we can change it. I said to him, I'm not going to be involved. I am not, if it is not going to favor me, I'll resign from IPOB. Anything that is in IPOB Code of Conduct that I found difficult to follow, I will rather resign than to find a way to walk around it. Why, when he said that thing, nobody knew that a day like this will come. But today, it's for you to know that these people, everything you see them did or are still doing today, it has always been in line with their agenda. But what I don't know is whether those people following them knew that they have ulterior motive, or they are following them ignorantly. Now, China Sanwo-Olu was already Biafra the other day, gossiping, yapping, talking out of points, the way he always do. Then after that, he talked about a memo that will be coming. Not quite after 24 hours after that program, a memo was released by DOS. My people, I'm going to read part of the memo, and I think that is alarming to me. I'm going to read the ones that I think is alarming to me. I don't know about you. I will read it and I will explain to you why it is contrary to IPOB principles, belief. Because one thing is for sure. If you are not with us, you are against us. You cannot be changing things because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not around. There are fundamentals of this struggle. There are untouchables, things you do not have right to do in this struggle. Not when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still alive. Not when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still reachable. You don't do it. Doing them amounts to heart. This one I don't walking along with him. But in actual sense, you are not with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. These things point out to one thing. They are not with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all this while. But they do not know how to come out. They do not know how to do those things until now that the opportunity presented itself. Now they are showing their real colors. Now listen to their memo. I don't know if I've come across it, but if you have not, I'm about to bust your bubbles. Now listen. This memo was released on the 16th of January 2025. Today is 4 days ago. Now I will read. The Directorate of State of the Indigenous People of Biafra, the DOS, consciously and let me take it again. The Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra, DOS, conscious of the onerous responsibilities placed upon it, bearing in mind the great expectations of the Biafran people, the cognizance of the fact that all hands must be on deck for the final push for the freedom of the Biafran people and the nation, hereby give the following directives. Now, you remember, you just heard them talk about the final push. These are dormant people. These are people who have been dormant for the past 4 years that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention. These are the people who has been underground, working for themselves for the past 4 years that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been aware. But you can see them talking about the final push, and you ask them, these progresses you always claim you make, that is not reflective on the struggle. Is it in another planet you're making this progress? You are now talking about a final. Do you understand what you mean by a final push? That means you have done everything. Now it's about to happen. It's about to rain. Biafra is about to come. But we all know that for the past 4 years, you have remained dormant. If you are doing something that is leading us to the point of final pushing, then we all should be able to be seeing it with our own eyes, like this. You want to push us to Biafra, even when we don't know. We want to push us. We are in Biafra now. Biafra, we are all fighting together to get. But we are not getting any information. We don't know the progress made. So we don't know the next move. We don't know what you are doing. So why are we here? Why, if you can do it alone? Because while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was here, we were following. Everything he was doing. And anyone he decided to keep secret, he kept it secret. At the appropriate time, he revealed it to every Biafran to see. And as he's revealing it, the effect is thin. But now you are promising us that we are in the final push to restore Biafra when we are seeing nothing. But that is not where I'm driving to anyway. Now, one, this is, I am, like I told you, this is a new IPOB code of conduct. This is not just a memo. It's a code of conduct put together by the defunct DOS, because they are now defunct. They are now working for the Nigerian government. This is new IPOB code of conduct, meaning that the code of conduct that you used to know is no more effective. It's no more invoked. Now we have new IPOB code of conduct. If it is not, please tell me what it is. Now, one, they said, the Directorate of State will afford those genuine Biafrans who sincerely, honestly, and truthfully desire to be part of this noble family in pursuit of our noble cause of liberation and freedom, the opportunity to do so. Meaning that the opportunities given to them, Biafrans, by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is not enough. So now DOS is now giving them another opportunity. Now, I want you to follow me. Like I said, this is a new IPOB DOS Nigeria Press Code of Conduct. Second, and remember, like I was saying today, I forgot today, Donald Trump was sworn in as the President of the United States of America, and all the government of the world were represented. And you know what? Biafran government in exile was also invited. They were invited to grace that occasion by the President Trump and his vice. That is what is called doing something. As this DOS stroke IPOB Nigerian Pressure Group, if they were in London, if they were in Washington today, if Mazi Nnamdi was not arrested, he would have been there today. But his government is being represented currently as I'm talking to you. Biafra is there, invited. We saw the invitation by the Trump government himself. As those people that has been on the ground for the past 4 years, where they were. Ask Chinas and World, the unknown freedom fighter. Ask him. Ask the sleeping dummy. Ask him, where were you? Were you also invited? The answer is no. But you are doing underground job. Biafra is in final push in your dream. We know those who get us Biafra. We know those who are doing something for Biafra to come. And we know they are doing everything, putting everything in line. Even when I'm not happy that after the arrest and detention of Mazi Nnamdi, those the government who supposed to be in unison allowed personal interest to come in. But even at that, for them to be invited to grace this occasion today is a gigantic step worth celebrating. And we all are celebrating that victory. It's a victory to us. It's a victory to Biafra. It's a victory to everyone who believes in what we are doing. And I know that by now, Nigerian government are really shaking. They are shaking. They are quaking. I know. But within days, we shall see. Trump is on. Trump is on. Trump is on. Now we shall see. Now let me continue reading what I'm reading. Now listen. Number 2. In creating the enabling ground that will afford the opportunity to welcome genuine Biafrans into the IPOB family, strict procedures to follow and adhere are contained herein. Did you hear it? For you to remember that in IPOB code of conduct, the procedure, the process to becoming part of this family is already there. You cannot make law when the old law is still in vogue. Making a new law meaning that the old law have to go. So IPOB code of conduct put together by Mazen and Khan, there was a rule. There was rules. If you want to belong to this family, there was rules, which is stipulated there in IPOB code of conduct. And if that rule is still in vogue, why making another rule? That is why I told you. If you are still believing that you are in IPOB of Mazen Khan, I pity you. You are the most best person in this world. There's no other way to qualify you but a total non-entity. You think you're still following this man as you are saying IPOB Mazen Khan is their leader. My brother, in fact, you are not worthy to be called a human being. Seriously. To him, brain is given, sense is required. You are expected to use your senses. If Mazen Khan, the code of conduct Mazen Khan sanction put together, if it is still viable, what is the need of making another code of conduct? Think about it. I know you do. I know it is very difficult for a black man like you to think, but I ask you tonight to think. I want to read that number 2 again so you understand, because that number 2 made a great revelation. Also, he said, in creating the enabling ground that will afford that opportunity to welcome genuine Biafran into the IPOB family, strict procedures to follow and adhere are contained herein in this thing. Now let us continue. Then number 3, they start. Any Biafra wishing to be part of this historical movement for freedom should begin by joining the IPOB closest to his or her residence or domicile. The same thing in IPOB code of conduct. What is the need of putting it here? It's already there. We know. Everybody, it is in our IPOB code of conduct. So if you are genuine, what you should do is to publish IPOB code of conduct to refresh the memory of IPOB. If you think that they do not follow the code of conduct, you publish it or use it to do program. Like I did, I have done it here, not once, not twice. I have did program here with IPOB code of conduct where I try my best to explain to the best of my ability and understanding the IPOB code of conduct. I didn't say I am the highest to explain it. I said to the best of my ability. which if you had listened to me, this thing that I'm doing today, I may not be doing it. You gave them the opportunity to see themselves as who they are not. When they were busy testing waters, you supported them. Today, this is the result. Now, number 4, he said, any IPOB family member who left the struggle during the past 4 years but wishes to return to the family fold should join the IPOB family unit closest to her location. Number 5. This is where the camel's back was completely broken. This is where you must know that there is changes happening in IPOB, contrary to the IPOB Code of Conduct. Now listen. Every Biafran wishing to join IPOB family worldwide, or those wishing to return to the family fold, must undergo a vetting process by the leadership of IPOB. Exactly. Yes, you heard me right. Those Biafrans wishing to return to the family, or the new ones who want to join, must undergo first vetting process by the leadership of IPOB. 2, the vetting process will be a rigorous one, starting from the unit level to the directorate level, and must undergo the process of, must undergo the IPOB oath taking process. The final decision to admit returning members to the IPOB family will be the prerogative of the directorates of states of the indigenous people of Biafra. Let me explain. If you go to IPOB Code of Conduct, the only thing that qualifies you to belong to this noble family is your identity as a Biafran, nothing more, nothing less. That's according to the IPOB Code of Conduct. Your qualification as IPOB family member. Remember, ordinarily, you are an IPOB. Now we have organization which you must belong to be able to join the wagon to fight for the freedom of Biafra. But whether you join or not, you are still IPOB. Hence, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said in IPOB Code of Conduct that the only qualification you need, what qualifies you, is that identity, IPOB, either by marriage. If you are a woman, as long as you are married to a Biafran who is IPOB member, automatically you are IPOB member if you want to belong. No vetting is involved. But here they are telling you that anytime you signify interest As a Biafran, to join the struggle, you must undergo vetting by the leadership themselves. Meaning, they must contact you and you must swear allegiance to them, that you are not going to go against them. And I know that the oath will change with time, if it has not changed yet. I know they are going to change the oath, the original oath, where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name was mentioned, replaced by the leadership or by DOS. If you are not going to, or they will put stroke Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stroke leader DOS. Remember, in IPOB oath, the person you are alleging, you swore allegiance to is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu alone. But I tell you, without seeing their new oath, I know what is going to be there. But now, the first thing they made, the first changes they made here is the vetting process. So before you want to become a member of IPOB, they have to know your family, your mother, your father, your village, your past records. You have to swear allegiance. These are the vetting. If you don't know it. Because in IPOB, the only qualification you have is your identity as a Biafran. If you are a criminal, you know, consign us. If you are a drug pusher, you know, consign us. If you are a Yahoo, it's not our business. The only qualification is your identity as a Biafran. The only time we want to know, the only time vetting was mentioned in IPOB Code of Conduct is when you are chosen or aspiring for a post in IPOB. When IPOB want to give you a position in IPOB, then there will be a vetting process to ascertain your real person, the kind of person you are, the kind of individual you are. But unfortunately, that vetting was not followed when Chinas Anworo was chosen. That vetting was not followed when Tony Zurumike was chosen. It was not followed when Oge Chukwuisu was chosen. It was not followed when this one is Sadek, the one that is Sadek here, Tony Obiuk was chosen. So now, the second one they told you that the vetting process will be a rigorous process. Like I told you, the rigorous process here is you have to swear allegiance to them. You have to promise them that whatever come rain, come sun, you will stand by DOS. You have to tell them your family, your village, the address to your village, your uncle, your nephew, who to hold, who not to hold. When you disappoint, who to buy. These are the things they are going to ask for from you. And I told you that this vetting will start from the unit level. Then after your units vet you, then they will push you to the Directorate of State, who will now conclude the vetting process. Then after that, then oath will follow, which will be the final process. Then they will now make a decision either to accept you or not in your own country. It's just like saying that before you become a citizen of a country, you must undergo vetting. This is the new IPOB Code of Conduct. And when these people talk, I don't know what they think. You know, I liken these people like a cat. Ebe. You know what is ebe? A cat. Or a kite. You know, it's a kite. A kite is called ebe in Igbo language. a kite seeing itself as an ego. That is what I'm seeing these people. These people don't know what the damages they have done to IPOB. They don't know. I don't want to go on reading the rest of the memo. Go and look for it and read it for yourself. I just wanted to point out this thing, but I want to promise you one thing. In this their new code of conduct, no place was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name mentioned. It has always been DOS and their criminality. So these people has they started seeing themselves as important people. But one thing they did not understand is that they do not understand the kind of damages they have done to IPOB. I don't know that person who wants to join IPOB at this point. They have made IPOB unattractive. Even for you to come outside and say you belong to IPOB, it is your mouth will be so heavy for you to do. You see this? I can't wear this IPOB, this thing I'm wearing. I forgot the name again. I can't wear it boldly again the way it used to be. Before I'm going out sometimes, I wear it on my head. But these days I can't. Because we are more of or less like a laughing stock. But these people still think that there is something left in IPOB. They have destroyed everything completely. But they are still deceiving themselves and deceiving those that that allow them to deceive them. Because only when you allow them to deceive you, they will deceive you. I believe if you are a follower, if you are a listener of IPOB Western Cape Media TV, you won't be deceived. Because you may have seen this, you may have read through it, but you did not get the point. You may just read it innocently and pass. But I am explaining it in details, what it is. That is IPOB Code of Conduct, the new IPOB Code of Conduct by these non-entities, by these useless people, by these dormants, by these hijackers. They have hijacked IPOB out from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they think that they can stand. And they think that the land of Biafra will allow them. They think that the spirit of the fallen heroes will allow them. That is why I likened them to a kite, challenging an ego. It is not possible. These guys are nobody. Men are in Washington, doing things, making things to work, meeting people, discussing Biafra, bringing Biafra to the table, negotiating Biafra. Men are, as I'm talking to you, Trump is talking about it today because he invited them there. The Congress, people that matters in Congress, Americans, decision makers, think tanks, everybody, men that are doing something, all of them are in Washington, D.C., White House today, as I'm talking to you, probably holding dinners, as I'm talking to you, with the President of the United States of America. But these dormants, these useless non-entities are here talking about how to go destroy anybody that said that Biafra will not come. Whoever you are. I just want you, dear friends, because I think we have come to the end, because this program has just exceeded 3 hours mark. And as you know, we have come to the end of this program this evening. I'm not going to continue because I know you have to go and sleep and get ready for tomorrow. Myself, I need to go and sleep to get ready for tomorrow. But I want to bear one thing in mind always. Pregnancy, you can't cover it with your hands. If you are doing something, we know you are doing something. You don't need to tell us you are walking on the ground. If you are doing something, we know you are those who did something and who are still doing something. They are, all of them are in Washington, D.C. as I'm talking to you, meeting people, personalities, discussing Biafra, bringing Biafra to the table. That's what I want you to know. If you want to if you want a man like you to continue to deceive you, continue following Chinas and Woru, continue going to Radio Biafra and listen to Chinchike Dozier, continue listening to people who has withdrawn rock under Mazanekano's feet. They have changed everything in IPOB, and you are still following them. I pity you. And I told you one thing I want to tell you this evening before I end this program is that you are not qualified to be identified as a Biafran. You are better off an Hausa person. These are the people who refuse to reason with their senses. The Fulanis are killing them, massacring them. They don't want to do anything about it. All they do is to lament because they don't want their Nigeria to break. They don't want to buy, but they are buying systematically. They are being exterminated. What stops you from coming out and doing it once and for all? If it's only one person that remains, the person will start continue. Why would you live a life of a slave? Like I told you before, pray for Mazi. Continue to pray for him. Not only Mazi, pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa. He has done so much. Mazi Simon Ekpa should be celebrated. As you are celebrating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for what he has done for Biafra, please remember to celebrate Mazi Simon Ekpa. He has done great. Because of him, Biafra is being discussed in Washington, D.C. as I'm talking to you today. Biafra have a seat in the inauguration of a new president of the United States of America. If you don't know the amount of progress made, I am telling you, it is huge. So, Master Monepa has done great. May Chukwu Okabiama preserve him, and soon I know he'll be coming out because Finland is not Nigeria, Nigeria. Finland is a country that follows their law, obeys it. At the end of the day, justice must happen. And that justice is the release of Mazi Simon Ekpa. The only person we have problem with is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because the people that are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu are more or less animals. Wild animals. Untamed animals. Called Nigerian government. But Chukwu Okiabiama will save him because Onwa Chukwu Okiabiama Kobu. Where's that day for number? Ade GC, Ade Junwa Adibia, a member of. Are they possible? Where is the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? He will go. He will come back. And victory shall be celebrated. I thank you for being part of this program this evening. Like I always say, I love you so much. I appreciate you. There's nothing that I appreciate than those who stick to this program all the time, from beginning to the end. I thank you so much. I want you to continue to put us in your prayers, continue to share this program, like our program, do everything necessary. If there is anybody who you know that has not identified with us here, please let the person know about us. We have a lot to offer. I thank you so much. May Chukwu Okike Abiama bless you. Everything you seek for will be given to you. You will never die untimely. You will live and you will see Biafra. That being said, I say to you, from me, from here, fellow Biafrans, it is good night.